At our rehearsal dinner, she said, "I need to be sure," and ran off with the best man. So I took our honeymoon alone. They crashed and burned in 3 months, and the wedding photos I mailed her were of me and someone new. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Hey Reddit, long-time lurker here, but I finally have a story that's too wild not to share. This happened about a year ago, and I've processed it enough to laugh about it now. If you're into those cheating ex gets karma tales, buckle up. I'll try to keep it straightforward, but fair warning, it's a roller coaster. Background: how we got here. Emily and I met back in college, freshman year bio lab. She was the outgoing type, always organizing group study sessions, cracking jokes that lightened the mood when exams loomed. I was more the quiet, steady guy, buried in my engineering textbooks, but she pulled me out of my shell. We started dating sophomore year, and it felt natural. After graduation, I landed a solid job at a tech firm, nothing flashy but reliable with good benefits. Emily, though, she had bigger dreams. She wanted to be a graphic designer, freelancing her way to her own studio someday. I supported that 100%. When she quit her entry-level gig because it stifled her creativity, I picked up extra shifts to cover our rent. "We'll make it work," I'd tell her, and I meant it. Flash forward 5 years. We're living in a cozy apartment in our mid-sized city, and things are good, or so I thought. I proposed on a weekend hike, nothing over the top, just a spot we loved with a view of the skyline. She said yes, tears in her eyes, and we started planning the wedding. I handled most of the logistics because her freelance work was picking up, and I didn't mind. I turned down a promotion that would have meant relocating because she said, "Alex, I need stability right now. My career's just starting to take off." So I stayed put, commuting an hour each way to keep things steady for us. My best man was Jake, a buddy from high school. We drifted a bit after college. He was always the party guy, bouncing between jobs and girlfriends, but he stuck around for the big moments. Emily and Jake got along great. They'd joke around at group hangouts, and I'd think nothing of it. Looking back, there were signs. She'd mention how adventurous Jake was, comparing his spontaneous road trips to my predictable routine. "You could loosen up a bit, Alex," she'd say with a laugh. I'd brush it off. Loyalty was my thing. I trusted her completely. The wedding was set for a Saturday in June, small ceremony with about 80 guests, mostly family and close friends. We had the venue booked, a quaint garden spot outside town, and I'd splurged on a honeymoon to a beach resort in the Caribbean. 2 weeks of sun, sand, and no work emails. The night before the big day was the rehearsal dinner at a local Italian restaurant. Everyone was there: my parents, her folks, the bridal party. The air smelled like garlic bread and red wine, and the toasts were flowing. I remember feeling this quiet excitement, like, this is it. We're building a life. But yeah, that's when it all went to hell. The night it happened, the betrayal. The dinner was winding down. We'd practiced the ceremony earlier that afternoon. Everything smooth, no hiccups. Back at the restaurant, people were mingling, plates clinking, laughter echoing off the walls. Emily looked stunning in her simple white dress, hair down, that smile I fell for. I was chatting with my dad about the vows when she tugged at my sleeve. "Alex, can we talk?" "Outside." Her voice was off, serious, but not panicked. I figured it was last-minute nerves. Weddings do that to people, right? We stepped out to the parking lot. The summer air still warm, streetlights buzzing overhead. She paced a bit, avoiding my eyes, then finally stopped and looked at me. "Alex, I need to be sure," she said, her tone flat, like she was discussing the weather. "Sure about what?" I asked, my stomach twisting. I could see Jake's car parked nearby, engine running. "What the hell?" "About us. About this." She gestured vaguely at the restaurant, at me. "I've been thinking, and Jake, he gets it. He makes me feel alive, you know? Like, spontaneous. You've always been my safe choice, Alex. Reliable. But I deserve more than that. More excitement, more passion. This wedding, it feels like we're rushing into something just because it's the next step." I stood there, processing. The words hit like a gut punch, but I kept my face neutral. "Emily, what are you saying? Tomorrow's our wedding day." She crossed her arms, a smug little smile creeping in, like she'd rehearsed this. "I'm saying I can't do this. Jake and I, We've been talking. More than talking, actually. For months. He challenges me in ways you don't. You're sweet, Alex, but you're so predictable. Work, home, repeat. I need someone who pushes me, who makes life an adventure. Not this comfortable routine. Months. My voice stayed even, but inside, it was chaos. Flashbacks hit me. Her late nights working on designs, the inside jokes with Jake at barbecues. And you're telling me now? In front of everyone. She shrugged, dismissive. Better now than after the vows, right? Don't make a scene. It's embarrassing for both of us. Jake's waiting. We're going to his place to figure things out. You can handle the guests. Tell them whatever. Say I got cold feet or something. She laughed. A short, cruel bark. God, listen to me. But seriously, Alex, you'll be fine. You're the type who lands on his feet. Maybe this is your wake-up call to live a little. I glanced at Jake in the car, smirking through the window like he'd won a prize. No apology, no regret in her eyes. Just this entitled certainty, like I was a chapter she was done with. So that's it. You're leaving with him? Yeah, she said, turning away. I am. Wish me luck. I'm finally choosing me. She walked to the car, got in, and they drove off, taillights fading into the night. I stood there for what felt like hours, the confusion crashing over me. Why now? Why him? I'd given up so much. That job offer, weekends helping her with portfolios, even dipping into savings for her new laptop when hers crashed. And for what? To be discarded like yesterday's news. The unfairness burned, but I didn't chase them. Didn't yell. I just breathed. Then I walked back inside. The room went quiet when I entered alone. Everyone, I said, voice steady, the wedding's off. Emily's decided she's not ready. Thanks for coming, drinks on me. Gasps, whispers, but I didn't elaborate. Handled the bill, hugged my confused parents, and drove home to an empty apartment. That night, I didn't sleep. Sat on the couch, staring at the wall, replaying her words. Safe choice. Predictable. It stung, the betrayal so public, so cruel. But begging? Confronting? Not my style. If she wanted out, fine. I'd let her go. What I did next, the emotional aftermath. The next morning, I woke up to a dozen missed calls from her family, mutual friends, even a text from Emily. Hey, just checking in. Hope you're okay. Like it was a minor hiccup. I ignored them all. Canceled the venue, the caterer, the DJ, methodical, one by one. Lost some deposits, but whatever. The honeymoon was non-refundable, paid in full. So I packed a bag and flew out alone that afternoon. Why not? The resort was waiting, and I needed space. Those first days on the beach were rough. White sand, turquoise water, couples everywhere holding hands. I'd sit under a palm tree, nursing a piña colada, wondering what the hell went wrong. Internal monologue on repeat. Was I really that boring? Did I miss the signs? Flashbacks kept coming, like the time I skipped a guy's trip to help her prep for a client pitch, or when I co-signed a loan for her freelance setup, because we're in this together. I'd sacrificed pieces of myself to build us up, and she tossed it aside for a thrill with Jake. The silence amplified everything. No text from her beyond that one, but her social media, before I blocked her, showed vague posts about new beginnings. It felt so unfair, like I'd been a placeholder. But solitude does something. By day 3, I started walking the trails, snorkeling alone. Met a group of travelers at the bar, laughs, stories, no pity party. One night, staring at the waves, it hit me. This wasn't about me being predictable. It was her entitlement, her betrayal. I didn't need to fix anything. I needed to detach. Back home a week early, cut the trip short for sanity. I threw myself into work. Took that promotion I'd passed on. Meant a move to a nearby city, but why not? New apartment, fresh start. Therapy helped too. A few sessions unpacked the confusion. You were loyal, Alex. She wasn't. My internal voice shifted, from vulnerable, why me, to a clearer, this freed me. Gym became routine, lost 15 pounds of stress weight. Picked up hiking again, solo this time. Made new friends through a local meetup group. No dating yet. Too raw. But I felt the fog lifting. Emily, she became background noise. Blocked her number, unfollowed everyone connected. If she wanted adventure, let her have it. I was building peace. Mutual friends trickled info. She and Jake were official, posting couple pics from some weekend getaway. Fine. I didn't respond. Let the world spin without me chasing it. But about 3 months in, the cracks showed. Word got back. Arguments, Jake's temper. I didn't gloat, just noted it and kept moving. My life was mine now. No more sacrifices for someone who saw me as a safe choice. The fallout, when karma came calling. About 3 months after the rehearsal dinner disaster, I started hearing the rumors. At first, it was just a casual mention from a mutual friend, let's call him Mike, who'd stayed neutral through the whole mess. We grabbed coffee one weekend, and he couldn't hold it in. Dude, Emily and Jake? It's imploding. I didn't probe, but he spilled anyway. Turns out, their adventure wasn't the fairy tale she'd sold herself. Jake, that spontaneous charmer, revealed his true colors fast. He wasn't just flaky with jobs, he was unstable all around. Arguments escalated into full-blown fights, verbal at first, then worse. Emily confided in a few friends that he'd get jealous over nothing, accuse her of flirting with clients during her freelance gigs. And the cheating? Oh yeah. Jake had been seeing his ex on the side the whole time, using Emily as a rebound or whatever. When she confronted him, he laughed it off, said something like, "Babe, you're fun, but I'm not tying myself down." Drained her savings on spontaneous trips that were really just excuses for his partying. She ended up covering most of it, dipping into credit cards because her design work dried up amid the drama. Clients don't love unreliable vendors. The isolation hit next. Our mutual circle? They weren't buying her victim narrative. After the public stunt at the dinner, word spread about how she'd blindsided me. Friends who defended her initially backed off when Jake's mess came out. "She's toxic," one texted me anonymously. Her family stayed loyal, of course, but even they couldn't spin it. She lost a big contract because of a meltdown post on social media, vague rants about betrayal that backfired when people pieced it together. Broke, alone, crashing on a cousin's couch. It was ironic, really. She'd chased excitement and ended up with chaos. Me? I noted it all with a detached nod. No satisfaction in her pain, just a quiet confirmation that I'd dodged a bullet. I didn't reach out. Why would I? My life was gaining momentum. That promotion led to a team lead role, better pay, shorter commute in my new city. Weekends filled with hikes, a photography hobby I'd picked up on the honeymoon. Snapping sunsets, not for likes, but for me. The confusion from those early beach days? Faded. I felt clear, like I'd shed dead weight. Her comeback attempts, the desperation builds. It started small, about a week after the rumors hit me. A text from an unknown number. Hers, probably a burner or something. "Alex, hey. Heard you're doing well. Can we talk?" I messed up big time. I stared at it, felt nothing but mild annoyance. Responded with, "What about?" Keep it minimal, I thought. No door slamming, but no welcome mat either. She called the next day. I picked up, curious more than anything. "Alex, thank God. Listen, Jake was a mistake. A huge one. He wasn't who I thought. Abusive, cheating, everything you weren't. I see that now. You were always there for me, stable, loving. I took it for granted." Her voice cracked, but it rang hollow. "Emily," I said calmly, "you made your choice. At our rehearsal dinner, remember? You needed to be sure. Sounds like you got your answer." "But I was wrong," she pushed, desperation creeping in. "We had something real. The wedding plans, the apartment. Let's rebuild. I'll make it up to you. Therapy, whatever it takes." I paused, let the silence hang. "No thanks. I've moved on." Click. Blocked the number. That didn't stop her. A few days later, her mom called, toxic as ever. "Alex, you listen here. Emily's going through hell because of that jerk Jake. You owe her a second chance after all she put up with. Men like you don't just walk away. Be a gentleman and fix this." Put up with. I'd supported her dreams, sacrificed my own. "Mrs. Thompson," I replied evenly. "Emily ended things. Respectfully, this isn't my problem." Hung up. Friends got roped in next, her side mostly. One showed up at my old gym before I switched, pleading, "Come on, man. She's sorry. Jake used her. She's unraveling. Give her closure at least." Unpleasant pressure, guilting me like I was the villain. I just shook my head. "Tell her I'm good. No hard feelings." But no. He left grumbling. The attempts escalated. Voicemails piled up from new numbers. First pleading, "Alex, please. I can't sleep, can't work. You're the only good thing I had. Then manipulative. Remember how I supported you through your job stress? We owe each other. Hypocrisy at its finest. She'd compared me to Jake back then, called my life routine. I didn't bite. By week 3, anger surfaced. A late night call. How can you be so cold, Alex? I pour my heart out, and you ghost me? You're heartless. After everything, you just disappear like I meant nothing? Fine, rot in your boring life. You'll never find someone like me. Her true colors shone through. Smug dismissal flipped to furious entitlement. I listened to the voicemail, deleted it. No response. She was unraveling, but it didn't touch me. I'd built walls of peace. Her chaos bounced off. Her family doubled down. Dad emailed, rude and demanding. Son, real men forgive. Emily's family, don't turn your back. I archived it. Friends stopped relaying after I told them. I'm out of that loop. The desperation peaked with her showing up at my parents' house. Uninvited, tears streaming. My mom called me. She begged for your number, said it's urgent. I advised, tell her no contact. It was pathetic, but I felt detached, like watching a stranger's drama. The final nail, closure on my terms. A month after her rage voicemail, I decided it was time to end it fully. I'd met someone new, Sarah, a fellow hiker from my meetup group. Nothing rushed. We bonded over trails and coffee, no drama. She valued stability, laughed at my predictable stories without judgment. For our 3-month mark, we took a weekend trip, same Caribbean vibe as the honeymoon, but this time shared. Snapped photos. Us on the beach, toasting sunsets, genuine smiles. It felt like a renewal, what commitment should be. Back home, I printed a few, stuffed them in an envelope with a note. Emily, thought you'd want these wedding photos. This is what being sure looks like. Don't contact me again. Mailed it to her cousin's address. No return address, certified for proof. She showed up at my door 2 days later, disheveled, eyes red, clutching the envelope. Public enough? My building lobby, neighbors milling. Alex, she started, voice breaking. These pictures, with her? How could you move on so fast? I thought we had a chance. Jake destroyed me. Broke, alone, job gone. Please, let's talk. I know I was cruel, but I was confused. You were my rock. I stood in the doorway, calm, firm. Emily, you chose your path. Ran off with Jake at our dinner, remember? Said I was just safe. Well, I've built something better. Promotion, new city, real peace. Sarah? She's part of that now. You're not. But I regret it, she pleaded, hypocrisy dripping. I see what I lost. Give me another shot. I'll change. No, I said, indifferent. You're irrelevant here. This chapter's closed. I've grown past it. Focus on yourself. No sympathy, no sorry it didn't work out. Just facts. She crumpled, angry tears. You'll regret this. She's just a rebound. I shrugged. Goodbye, Emily. Closed the door, locked it. Called building security for future reference. That was it, the power flip complete. She was desperate, I was free. A year later, life's upgraded. Sarah and I are solid, talking future without rush. Emily, last I heard, piecing together freelance scraps, single. Doesn't matter. She's a faded memory, powerless in my world. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.